You know, you always discover this after the fact, but this latest HBO hack attack, apparently 7 times larger than the one that involved Sony, and that was a doozy. Now the FBI is looking into this. We have security expert Paul Viollis with us. Paul, this is humongous, but I still don't understand how it keeps happening.
Well, because we're easy, Neil. I mean, when you think about it, we're easy prey. So the biggest part is look at this from the macro to the micro. You know, $450 billion a year was generated in 2016 from cybercrime. It's a great business model. And how it happens is that we really don't put up much of a fight. Now, how did this happen?
HBO doesn't pay any ransom if it's asked?
Well, no, they may very well get hit with a ransom request. This is early in the game right now. We really just don't know. They don't even know how much was hit. The thing for viewers to understand is that when we talk about a terabyte is equivalent to 5 billion pages of data. So the amount of information that has been stolen at this point is unprecedented, no question.
What do they do with that? Let's say they get the shows back, Game of Thrones, or they complete this and all. But what have they gotten in the meantime?
Well, what they have right now, they could have content that they can sell, which content is king,
sure,
right? So there's no question about that. They could have sensitive emails from executives that would promote nice extortion matters. They could have financial information that could disrupt the AT&T potential acquisition that's pending right now. So there's a variety of different plays that they could use with this. But the ROI associated with this is going to be significant. There's no question.
The return on investment. So let me ask you about how it happens. Steer me through the process, how you think it goes. If it's originating from abroad, I always think you need a worm or someone inside the organization helping out. I always see that in the movies, but what's the case?
You're absolutely correct. Highest probability is that it came from inside. But to cover both bases in your question, to come from the outside means that you have to get past the firewall. HBO is going to have an advanced firewall. It's next to impossible to do that. The fact is that the Internet has about 65,000 open ports. So any business has to have a couple of open ports to allow an Internet browser. Advanced hackers will use that. Still low probability with HBO. Most likely, it's either a rogue employee, which is possible,
right,
that's sold out to allow those multiple points of access. Highest probability was it was an advanced phishing campaign that got in and then went horizontal. Hence the explanation for the multiple points of access inside their system.
So, but once you're in a company, do you always have access to that company, even when they build walls later?
There's no question about that. And the best part about that question, Neil, is the advanced keyloggers that are being used today aren't picked up by typical IT scans. So if companies aren't promoting yearly, aggressive vulnerability assessments from the cyber side, they won't pick up the fact that that's in your system and people are reading your emails remotely.
How do you warn people at a company that there's a phishing expedition going on, or help us?
You train them. You know, you have to train them, and it's key.
What do you look out for?
We're simply not doing it. No, you put them through it. I mean, even in our firm, we have people that send me, phishing just to see if I'll open them, and they're good. I mean, I get beat a lot of times. There's no question about that. But you send emails out through an organization, and we do it quarterly, and then you teach people if you open up an email that's actually a phishing email, it'll tell you.
But how do you know what's phishing?
Well, you don't. That's how you start to learn, by looking at the header and knowing what to open and what not to open.
Well, a common one that used to be, and you and I chatted about this before, is when a familiar name, let's say Bank of America, Citigroup, someone you know,
right,
and it has even their masthead or logo, is requesting information. Would a bank, would a company be getting that information or requesting it that way?
No, absolutely not. And that's why, the phishing training, it's a detailed process, but it teaches people what to look out for. What are the red flags? If you see X, Y, and Z inside that email or that header or that subject, that you just simply don't open it. Or you call a person or send them a separate email to say, hey, Neil, did you send me an email about this? No, I didn't. Okay. Now, that one step will avoid you clicking and getting information and contaminating your system.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, thank you very, very much.
Always good seeing you, Neil.
He does make you think. Scary stuff, and it's getting bigger and bigger.